So we're going to do the same demo in Fusion. And we're going to start with a new file. And the way that we're going to do this in Fusion, at least initially, is we're going to start with a new cup design. So what we're going to focus on first is actually modeling the inside of the cup pretty much only. So let's say that our cup starts with a nice little kind of flat bit on the inside. And then we're going to say that it's going to do an arc, a 3-point arc. It goes from here to here. It's kind of a okay cup. And then that's like a nice inside of our cup. Right now, we don't need to worry about anything else. I'm actually also just gonna like drag this slightly so it's like more like this. That looks a little better. And then what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna draw a line that goes from here to the origin and then down here, so that we essentially have a complete face of the inside of our cup. And you'll see why this is important in a minute. Another thing I forgot to mention is that we're going to go into the document settings and we're going to change the units to centimeters. And I'll explain why when we get there. Cool. So now that we have that done, I am going to, I'm going to do a revolve. A revolve is basically when you take an object and you sweep it along a circular path or around like a central axis. And this is pretty similar to what happens in Onshape, in SketchUp, where you're creating a circle and then the follow me is tracing the path of that circle. It's essentially doing the same thing with a pole in the middle. So the axis that we're going to select is that blue Z axis. And we look at that. We've got a kind of a bowl shape. And the important thing about this is that this is a solid. So if we look at this, this is a solid, and it's a representation of the inside of our cup. I made a cup previously in SketchUp, and you can see that this thing, even I have this revolve in here, but I'm gonna get rid of it. Actually, I'm apparently not gonna do that. I don't know why. Oh, I know why. We're gonna get rid of this. Then we're gonna get rid of this. Don't worry about this. This wasn't crucial. This cup, you can see that if we were going to measure the size of this cup, and let's make sure that our scene units are centimeters. If we were going to measure the volume of this cup, what we'd do is we'd right-click the body and we would say properties. And you would see some properties here. You'd see that the volume is 19.541 cubic centimeters, but that's not the volume of water that it can hold. That's the volume of material that you're going to be using. So you could actually use that to determine how many cubic centimeters of filament you might use to print this. But we don't care about that. What we would care about is this inside face. Imagine that this is the water in our cup. And there isn't necessarily a flat kind of section here that would close this little area up to be a solid like we just made, but we're pretending there is. So again, just to be clear, we are only worried about this section, which we've modeled here, and we have a flat top, so this is a solid. You know, this is a complete object. So if we go to body one, if we go to, oopsies, didn't mean to do that. Go to body one, go to properties, we can see that it's actually not that big. It is, it's actually pretty close. It's 54.351 cubic centimeters. And I mentioned earlier, we wanted to convert to centimeters. We want to do that because we want the centimeters, because milliliters, which is, you want to shoot for around 60 milliliters in this project, are 1-to-1 with cubic centimeters. So if we can get our cubic centimeters to be 60, then we can get our milliliters to be 60. So we know that it's 54.351 cubic centimeters. And I have a little equation that I'm going to pull up in Desmos, which is here. And it's this. It's that we have something in place of x cubed equals 60. So this would tell us we're putting something in front of x cubed. And if you did the algebra, you would see that this would help us find what we basically would need to multiply our thing by to get our 60 value. And what was it? It was, it went away. We go to properties, 54.351, it's not going to be a lot. So if we do 54.35, we can see that our answer is like, 1.033. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Fusion. We're going to hit cancel. We're gonna hit scale under the modify menu. This point, I don't know. Do we need I guess we'll just not worry about that. Scale type, scale factor, 1.033. It's a little bit bigger now. If we go back to our properties, it's like almost exactly 60. Yeah, unfortunate. You can get some more level of detail if you want. So you might say this isn't very helpful, but it is, because now you know what the scale needs to be. And if we go back in time, and if we edit this sketch, we can get rid of this line and get rid of this line. And we can just like make a super simple like version of our cup that like kind of wraps up here. And I'm gonna offset this to be like 3 or like 1. Oh, we're doing centimeters now. That's why it's all the way over there. Let's do like 3 millimeter. I don't know. Point is, we could finish our cup doing another 3-point arc that goes like down here. This looks really bad. This looks horrible, actually. But we're just gonna wrap it up and be simple. Oopsies, I did not do that right. You wanna connect it here. You wanna have this profile. We're gonna finish sketch. When we do our revolve, you can see it actually fixed our cup. And if we did our scale, it's gonna size our cup up the same way. And now that you have the right size cup and you know what your cup actually needs to look like, then we would go to create sketch and we would do this. And I'm just gonna show this feature off because it's so good in Fusion. You do an arc. Let's just say like we have a 3-point arc. You would do your arc like this maybe, drag it around a little bit, hit okay. This arc is the profile of our handle. You're gonna do a plane along path. Again, plane along path. Click this guy. Now you can sketch the profile of your handle here. And if we were just gonna do create sketch, and I don't remember exactly where we should start, but like here-ish. Go back, oopsies. We go back, we can sweep our profile along our path, and look at that. We've got a handle, and this is the best part. You can extrude the faces up to object, and they're just gonna connect right onto the object.
And that automatically makes it a solid piece.
Oh yeah, this whole thing is now just a solid. There is no conflicting geometry in here. It actually would work really well. And I actually brought in a demo of this cup that I made that I'll pass around and go grab from the BTU because I forgot to grab it. But yeah, and if we were to verify, I mean, this will hold. I'm very confident that this would hold 60 milliliters. So yeah, that's all there is to it.